also will release in next June your new album, Werewolves of Portland. So what can you tell me about the recording process? Was it too difficult because of the pandemic?
Well, I had to really change my plan. My first plan was to have a live band. Uh, and then when the pandemic happened, everybody had to quarantine. So I just canceled it. I was like, I thought I'll figure this out later. And about 6 months went by, and I thought, man, this is just taking too long. I got to figure out something. So I decided to play all the instruments myself. So I played drums, played bass, played keyboards, of course, played the guitar. And I just worked with an engineer. He helped me overdub everything. And it actually was really fun, especially drums. I love playing drums. It's such a good time.
Yeah. And you also will be playing in this virtual Guitarfest for Chile, exclusively for Chile. So you have been here many times as a solo artist and with Mr. Big. So what can you tell me about your relationship with Chile?
Oh my goodness. One of the first times that I came to Chile, I was doing a guitar clinic for Ibanez. And since it was a clinic, I could invite other guitar players to come up on stage and we could jam. And I think there were like 5 or 6 guitar players from Santiago that came up, and everybody played great. They were, and I was playing like cities all over the world, and I'm like, man, what's going on in Santiago? Like everybody here is just amazing. So I always remember that. And the seafood's very good.
Yeah, people love it. So in this time, have you ever considered to record again with your first band, Racer X? Because there's almost 20 years since your last album with them. Have you considered recording with them again?
Oh. Well, I mean, right now everything's just crazy with the pandemic. So, um, but I guess when I think of doing albums with anybody, the first thing I think of is the songs, and how are we going to write them, and well, the other thing is although of course I have a guitar, lately I feel like the singer, because like on my album I just did, I'm doing all the vocal melodies on guitar, and that's kind of the role I've become comfortable with. It was funny. I actually saw Jeff Martin, the Racer X singer. I went to it before the pandemic. I went to his house and we had a jam session, and we're playing a Racer X song called "Into the Night." And at the beginning there's a guitar part, and then when the vocal part came up, I didn't want to play the guitar part. The guitar part, and I would just, I'm not interested in that anymore. So I started playing the vocal line. And then so I ended up like doubling him on all the vocal parts, and I realized I want to be the singer.
Yeah.
Really the same thing with Mr. Big. Like on my last tour, we were doing "To Be With You," hold on, little girl, my solo tour. But I did all the vocal parts on guitar. I was like. That's actually one of my best guitar teachers is like learning Eric Martin parts on my guitar. So I kind of want to be the singer.
Yeah, right. And speaking of Mr. Big, will you finally record one last album after what's happened with Pat Torpy, or will you end the band just now?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's predicting the future is I'm pretty bad at predicting the future. I think back to all the things that I thought would happen and they didn't, and all the things that I thought would never happen and they did. but it's hard without Pat. I mean, we did one album without Pat. It actually turned out all right. But I don't know. I had a dream about Pat the other night. I still think about him, and I still miss him.
And about about Racer X, it also the bass player Juan Alderete had a very serious accident, so he's recovering right now. So have you heard from him?
Oh well, I mean, I really hope I'm glad he's recovering. I know it was a really serious accident, so there's a lot of recovery to do. It happened right before the pandemic, so I haven't been able to travel to go see him. But I kept in touch with his wife, and I sold a guitar and donated the money to try to help out. And he's Juan's actually one of my best friends, from way back. He was really important to forming Racer X and to kind of getting our career started. We really did it together. So I feel a deep friendship with him, and I really hope he's doing okay.
Is there a part or a period from your career that you are most proud of?
Oh, let's see. You know what? On this new album, I did a song called "Argument About Pie," and I did a video for it, and it's a lyric video. I mean, it shows the lyrics as it goes by, but it's an instrumental song. So I think it's the first lyric video for an instrumental song anybody's ever done. And so I'm kind of proud. I'm proud of my invention of the slide magnet. Having a slide that sticks on the guitar, so you can be playing along normally. So you can play normally or slide like really fast back and forth. And of course, the drill thing I kind of came up with, and just the songs, the songs like Green Tea in the 60s Mind, or I think every album I've done has one or two songs that I'm proud of.
Yeah. And you are considered one of the best guitarists ever since you started with Racer X, then Mr. Big, your solo career. All your albums are praised by your quality in the guitar. So what do you feel about that?
Oh man, I mean, I always remember when I was a kid. First of all, I couldn't play. I was a little kid, and I didn't know how to play the guitar, and I really wanted to learn how to play it. And so I'm still learning, and it's but I'm much better. I've had a chance to play a lot, and so it's sort of a dream come true, because that was really what I wanted so much when I was a kid. And I remember looking at the fretboard and just going like, man, how am I ever going to learn where all those notes are? Like, it seemed really complicated, looking at the fretboard and going, oh man, 6 strings and all those frets. And it's so wonderful now to be able to look at it, and like if I sing a melody, if I go, I can see that. I know where that is. And without even, I can see it in my head without even staring at the fretboard. And that's like the best thing.
Do you have a favorite Chilean guitar player?
Oh, do I have a favorite guitar player?
Yeah, from Chile.
Oh, from Chile?
Yeah.
I mean, I love the guys that I jam with, but I don't know their names.
Oh.
And I haven't really paid attention to guitar players since like Eric Johnson. I love Eric Johnson. Like when he, after him, I haven't really paid attention to many guitar players. I've been listening to other music. Like I got really interested in songwriting, so I started listening to more songwriters, like a lot of the older, like Burt Bacharach, and of course the Beatles and the Beach Boys, and also I got interested in blues and jazz. But a lot of the blues guitar players, I mean, they're great blues guitar players, but we all kind of play a lot of the same licks or the same style because it's the instrument. And so I started listening to a lot of jazz saxophone players or jazz clarinet players, and to see how they played the blues. And so I started getting into like, some of the sax players from the 50s. Johnny Hodges, I love. I listen to him a lot. And so I'm not as interested in guitar. I kind of, I'm interested in my own guitar playing maybe, but I'm as musically, I want to hear like singers, saxophone, piano. I want to explore other instruments.
Yeah. And you were telling me about jazz and all of that, but do you still consider heavy music like Iron Maiden or Judas Priest as an important influence?
I listen to a lot of, just for fun, I love Iron Maiden and Judas Priest. Especially the era I grew up with. Like I listened to, British Steel and, I'm trying to think of the album titles, but I know the song, like Solar Angels. Awesome big riffs and like the old. I actually love the Iron Maiden stuff with Paul Di'Anno, like Murders in the Rue Morgue and Killers, and the that's not him. Never gonna find my man. I'm gonna try him down. Wrathchild. That's it. I'm a Wrathchild. I love Wrathchild. That's killer.
Yeah. So, is there anything you would like to say to your fans here in Chile that are waiting for this virtual Guitarfest, and that someday you come back when we can have presential shows?
Yeah, well, for the Guitarfest coming up, I've been teaching so much at my online school. I did like over 10,000 videos for my students, so I've learned a lot about teaching and about actually like guitar techniques I didn't even know I was doing, but from teaching I've had to figure them out. So I'll show you a bunch of those secrets, and I'm going to play some music too. So it'll be. I think I'll have some good information for you, and some good, hopefully, inspiration as well. And man, of course, with live playing, let's get this world back in shape. Hopefully we'll all be able to travel and breathe easier very soon.
Yeah, we all want that, man. We really want it. Okay, man. Thank you so much for your time. Hope to see you. I will be there at the Guitarfest. I'll be watching it. So thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.